Hey folks, Arizona guy here. It is Thursday, December 19th, 2024. It's 80 degrees. It's beautiful in Phoenix, Arizona today. Absolutely wonderful. Could not ask for anything better. So I'm up here at the grocery store. I'm going to get some stuff to make meatloaf tonight. But if you want to have some fun and you're on Twitter or X, if you're on X, go look at some of the Democrat Rhino posters and just see what they're saying. Today they're saying that Trump's not the president, that Elon Musk is the president. How freaking stupid can you be? Elon Musk is an advisor for the Trump incoming administration because a billionaire, Elon Musk, is making suggestions on how to cut down the cost of running the government. These leftist Democrats and these Rhino Republicans are trying to go after Elon Musk. It's the craziest thing. The first bill, and this is what you need to do if you're on X, just put in hashtag who writes the bills, or hashtag shut it down, or hashtag stop the spending. Just go make postings like that. You got to find out who is writing these 1,500-page monstrosity bills that include things like rebuilding a bridge, which is insured, rebuilding a bridge with taxpayer funding. It's not the taxpayer's fault that a ship hit a bridge and destroyed it. That should be being rebuilt by the insurance company for the ship. The ship destroyed the bridge. The ship is insured, and the ship insurance should be paying for the bridge, not the American taxpayers, period. But the Democrats and the Rhinos try to include things like that in the bill. It's absolutely crazy. And then there's something about people paying for an RFK stadium. Folks, nobody wants an RFK stadium, especially at the taxpayer's expense. That's a private entity. That will be a private stadium. It won't be owned by the government. Nobody's going to go to it. We don't need some damn stadium paid for with taxpayer money. But we have to find out who are the people in the Congress that are writing these outrageous 1,500-page bills. And now, since Elon and Vivek and J.D. Vance and Trump all get involved in it, I think they've got it down to like 112 pages. So it went from 1,500 pages to like 112. And honestly, they could probably do it in about 32 pages. So take it from 112 to 32, and then we can actually start making progress against government waste, fraud, and abuse. Because people, When did our government, congressional and Senate people, have they ever listened to us? Ever? No. They just go spend billions and billions of dollars. They've spent billions and billions of dollars involved in the Ukrainian war, which is not even our war. That's a war between the Ukraine and Russia. Why did America spend billions and billions of dollars, and then they offer the people of Appalachia a loan for $750? Everything that we're seeing, probably in the last 2 decades of government, make absolutely no sense whatsoever. It's just spending money. First, you got to borrow the money from China, and then we print the equivalent to their money and spend it. We can barely make the interest payment on all these big government loans. We're bankrupting the country, folks, not you and I, but our elected officials are bankrupting the country. So here comes Donald Trump and J.D. Vance into office in another 26 days or something. And they're trying to get a handle on the spending. And then these Democrats and rhinos do everything within their capabilities to stop the government from cutting spending. So we got to get these people out. Got to get them out. They're literally bankrupting us and our grandchildren's futures. They're bankrupting the country by borrowing and spending. Folks, I don't run my household like that. I'm up here to get groceries. I didn't borrow money from my neighbor to come up here and buy groceries. If I can't afford what I need to buy, I don't buy it. I don't need shrimp on a treadmill. But it's up to us, the American people, to rein in the spending, to cut down on the spending. We are spending as a country. We are spending too much money. We have for decades and decades. And it's time for it to end. We got to stop spending. We got to put our country first. We've got to pay down our debt. We don't want to live in a bankrupted country. But if we keep the people in power we have now, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And pretty soon, America will be devastated by debt. Just like some people, when they run their companies into the ground by borrowing and borrowing and borrowing to keep it alive. And then all of a sudden they realize they can't make the payments and the business gets foreclosed on and everybody loses except for the person that come in and picked it up for pennies on the dollar. They will win, but that'll be down the road. Just like the Biden administration is selling off the fencing project between America and Mexico. There's another couple 100 miles to go to finish it off. And we had the materials to finish it off. And the Biden administration, before Trump comes into office, is selling the materials already pre-made. All they got to do is put them in place. But these pre-made panels, the Biden administration are selling off these panels at pennies on the dollar before Trump comes into office. So it will cost double, if not triple, to complete the wall. Democrats and rhinos are actually ruining this country, folks. It's up to us to get a handle on it. And thank God for Elon Musk purchasing Twitter, which is now known as X, because just say in Arizona, so Mark Kelly is the senator from Arizona. He has a Twitter account. You can literally get a membership on Twitter. You can go to his account and you can respond to him as an American. And this is what's making all the difference in the world, folks, is X is allowing we the people to actually communicate individually with our people in government. I mean, Katie Hobbs is our crappy governor, but Katie Hobbs has an X account, and you can go to her account and leave comments on her account on how you feel about what she's doing or not doing. It's absolutely wonderful. It allows the American people a way to communicate directly with the people that you want to communicate with directly. Without that freedom of speech, the Democrats would have already taken it away because they don't like it. Jen Psaki was on the news complaining about X and people using X to communicate. And the reason she gave is because it's working. The Democrats and the rhinos don't like the fact that it's working. That we, the people, are actually communicating our thoughts and our views to our elected officials. And the Democrats and the rhinos don't like that. They don't want to be talked down to. But it's okay for them, the elitists in the country, to speak down to us, their constituents, the people of America that actually make this country work. They don't like that we now have a voice. And if they could do anything, they would take Twitter or X away from the regular people in America. Like right now, if you are a small business owner and they say that they're going to raise small business taxes, you as a small business owner can go on X and give your view, to actually leave your opinion and your view, and someone will read it. Most likely, millions of people will see what you wrote. And that's what everybody in the government are afraid of, Elon Musk, because he gave us an absolutely free speech platform, just like Truth Social, just like Trump gave us Truth Social. I am a member of Truth Social, but honestly, I don't use it as much as I used X, because X is a much, much larger platform. Many, many millions more people on X than Truth Social. But did you see the main thing that was in the 1,500-page bill. There was a section in there that would stop lawyers from being able to subpoena records or emails or any kind of paperwork from elected officials in government. Excuse me. Now, why do you suppose that the people writing the bills would want something like that in the bill? A section that said you cannot, by law, you cannot subpoena records of any kind or emails and communications of any kind against elected officials. Could it have something to do with the January 6th Commission? I believe it did. So anyway, folks, it is utterly fantastic that we, the people, are allowed to actually communicate with elected officials. Elizabeth Warren posts all the time about how we should tax billionaires. Almost every post that she makes on X is something to do with taxing billionaires. Like that's the only thing on her mind, is to tax billionaires. But she is a very, very wealthy person herself. So all she is doing is putting out rhetoric. And people just pay no mind to it because it's all crap. She knows damn well that the American people do not want their taxes raised. And if you tax billionaires, you have to tax millionaires, thousandaires, hundredaires. You got to tax everybody. That is how it works. So, Elizabeth Warren is a joke. Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, is an absolute and utter joke. But if I don't agree with something that she says, I can literally go to her posting, which I have done several times, and put my opinion in writing and post to her. Folks, freedom of speech is absolutely wonderful. It's the one thing that made our country absolutely great. So we can't give it up. So I thank Elon Musk every day for him, a billionaire, spending his own personal money in helping the country have freedom and liberty. It's absolutely fantastic. But again, the Democrats don't want you to have that ability. If they could get rid of X today, they would do it. They would just snatch it away from everybody. Because they, the elected officials, they don't want to hear from their actual constituents. They don't want to hear from the little people, because the little people are meaningless to them. And it is so absolutely wonderful that the American people finally see what is happening with our government, and we're able to speak out about it. It is fabulous. And I am awaiting Trump's inauguration on January 20th. I, as an American person, as an American citizen, as a patriotic American, I want to see Trump make a huge, absolutely huge difference in this country. And I think this time around he knows what he's doing. He's got the right people in place. And I actually think it's possible for America to witness big changes. Changes that have been needed for decades and decades and decades. Because trust me, our founding fathers never, ever expected to have literally hundreds of three-letter organizations, non-elected bureaucrats running the country. They had never imagined a FEMA, a Board of Education, a CIA, DARPA, all these organizations that basically all do the same thing. I mean, literally, there are hundreds of different organizations or departments in Washington, D.C. that basically all do the same thing. It is completely unneeded by the American taxpayers. We literally could go in there and get rid of probably more than 50% of the departments. We don't need them. All they do is waste our taxpayer money. They're actually in business to waste our taxpayer money. And I thank God every day for Elon Musk, somebody that's super smart, that wants to do something about it. We don't need all these different departments. I mean, look at, so there's drones flying over New Jersey. Okay? The citizens of New Jersey wanted answers on what these things were. Did they get it? No. Because a bunch of unelected bureaucrats went out there and just lied to everybody, saying that these things are flying over New Jersey and that they have no idea what they are, but they don't do anything about it. They don't go shoot them down. They don't have the tracking on where they're coming from, where they're going to, what's their purpose. So you have all of these taxpayer money wasting bureaucrats telling you, oh, it's okay, there's no risk to anybody, but we don't know what they are, so just live with it. And folks, we as the American people, we tolerate it. We absolutely just tolerate it. Our government lies to us on a daily basis, and we just tolerate it. Well, it's expected, the government lies. So we don't revolt, we don't do anything. We're like, oh yeah, okay, government lies, we accept it, okay. But in the meantime, they're wasting billions and billions of our own taxpayer money. When do we say enough's enough? When does that day come? When does the day come where literally millions and millions of American people say we've had enough, it ends today? When? 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? When? Because I have had enough for at least a decade or more. Where are the smart people saying that this has to end now? Elon Musk and Vivek and J.D. Vance and Trump are at least starting something to handle that problem. So I support it. I support it 100%. I support it. It is needed. It is required for America to be successful. So anyway, folks, that's what I have for you today. So please, please, whatever you do, contact your elected officials. And please tell them enough is enough. Stop spending. We have to start saving as a country. Quit sending money overseas. Start spending it on the American people. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching. Give the video a like, share it on your social media, subscribe to the channel. But let's, as Americans, finally group up and say, enough's enough. All right, folks, have a wonderful day. Go out there, do something nice for somebody. Christmas is just right around the corner. So let's all be peaceful, pleasant. Let's do something nice for somebody. And please contact your government people and contact President Trump and Elon and whoever you want to contact and say thank you. Thank you so much for at least looking in to wasteful government spending. All right, folks. Arizona Guy out.